Hi, welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sewjo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And I'm back to share the winners from my 2025 advent calendars. The projects that won anyway. So just in case you're new to seeing this project or this video series, this is my 2025 advent calendar, but I do everything a little bit different. This was self-curated by me, and I ended up doing it in November as opposed to December. So for this year, what I did is it was all based on the Jolly Bar. It's my quilting advent calendar, and a Jolly Bar is a 5x10 inch pre-cut fabric exclusive to Fat Quarter Shop, and it comes with a free pattern with it. Now, so I had 24 different Jolly Bars with the projects that I had my viewers vote on to do for a correlating month in 2026. So every 2 days my viewers voted on which project they like more. So let's talk about what the winners were. So let's see. We had day 1 and day 2. Well, let me pull them out here. Oops. I left the patterns in there. We'll need those. So we had this Blueberry Delight with this pattern down here, which was Scones and Tarts quilt. This was for day 1. And then this, I'm sorry, I don't speak French, Sacre Bleu. I'm not sure if that's how you say that, but this is from French General. And this was the pattern, which is Gardens of Versailles. So which one won? Which am I doing? Well, French General won. So for January, I'm going to be doing this quilt right here. And I'm going to be using the Kona Bone. Let me pull it out here. So the Kona Bone and the Kona Navy are going to be the other fabrics that I'm going to put in with this Jolly Bar to make this quilt. So that is the January project. Now, let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see me make videos when I make this, or if you just want me to show it in my weekly updates that I do in January when I make it. Let me know. Videos on making them, or just show it on your weekly update. Also, in the comments down below, if you wouldn't mind, if you have any ideas for what I could do next year for an advent calendar. All suggestions I can consider. I do have a couple ideas, but I never know what I'll do until I do it. Now, I did have a suggestion. Somebody suggested something about having my viewers send me different things and then making it a challenge to see what I could come up with. Well, that could definitely be a challenge. It could get some interesting things. However, I'm not going to do that because I never want to feel like I'm asking people to spend their money and send me things, or even if send me things that they have already spent their money on. So I'm not going to do that, but it definitely would be a challenge. Just to have people send me random things and try to make something with them. But I'm open to all ideas for next year. Like I said, I do have a couple ideas. We'll have to wait and see what comes about. Okay, so January, French General 1. I'm trying to make some separate piles here, so I keep them all correct when I put them back in order. Okay. February, which would be my 3. Oops. That is 5, 3 and 4. Yep, that is 4. And my 3. So, for day 3, I had Gentler Times from Lori Holt, and the pattern was Gentle Blossom. And then day 4 was Canning Day from Corey Yoder, and the pattern was Scattered Stars. And the winner was day 3, Gentler Times for February. So let's see, with my other fabrics, let me get the other fabrics I'm going to use to make this quilt. I'm going to use this Kona Sand and this other Lori Holt print. So those will be the fabrics I'm using for my February project. All right, now for my March project, we had day 5, which was a bloom from Cory Yoder. And here was the pattern back here. Now this did require 2 jolly bars. And we had day 6 from Cory Yoder, which was Calais & Co. And the pattern was Whirligig. So it was the Battle of the Cory Yoder Fabrics. Which one won? Whirligig won. This right here won. So, let's see. Let me get you the fabrics I'm going to use for that. I'm going to use Kona Snow. And the blue is my binding, and the other is going to be my border. So this is what I'm doing for March. All right, that's March. Let me get April. I started to go to June, but we need April first. Let me pull it out. For my April project, we had day 7, which was Georgia, from Brenda Riddle. This was the pattern, Morning Glory's quilt. And the second option was Sugar Creek from Cory Yoder with the Variations quilt pattern. So, which one won? Well, Cory Yoder won. So this is what I will be doing for April. This will be my binding for it, which this is a Cory Yoder fabric, but it's from a different line. And I'm just going to use some Kona White for my background. I'm just looking to see where my Kona White is. It's over here. So that will be my April project. On to May. For May, we have the Battle of Heather Briggs from My So Quilty Life. For number 9, we had Flower Girl with this pattern, which was Posies. And 10 was Dainty Meadow with this Meadow Breeze pattern. Now I've got a little twist to this one. I'll tell you in a minute. But which one won? Well, Dainty Meadow won. So for May, this is going to be my project. Now with both of these quilt tops, they're very small. And I know I'd had people tell me, well, can you combine them both and make a bigger quilt? Well, I don't want to combine the jolly bars because I really like this pattern. I just don't like that it is so small. So I don't want to use this and combine this. But I do have 2 charm packs of Dainty Meadows. So I can make this a lot bigger. Well, can't say a lot bigger, but I could use 2 jolly bars, the equivalent of 2 jolly bars instead of 1. So I am going to try to enlarge this some with my charm packs. So what other fabrics am I using with it? I'm using a Kona Bone for the background. I'm going to use this green for the accent and binding. So this will be my May project. All right, let's move on to June. Okay, for June, we had my day 11, which was Seashore Drive from Sherry and Chelsea with the Cabana quilt pattern. And day 12, which was Catalina from Fig Tree, with the seesaw pattern. So which one won? Sherry and Chelsea. So this is what I'm doing for June, will be this cabana quilt pattern. And to go with it, we're going to use Kona Bone. And then for the binding, I'm going to use this just Kona Turquoise. So this is my June project. We're halfway done with what all the winners are. Now, I just want to thank everybody for watching and voting and making your comments. Some of those comments were really funny, and a lot of you put a lot of thought into that. I appreciate it. It definitely gave me a laugh. All right, and let me know, did you like doing it in November? Technically, you know, an advent calendar isn't for November, but I kind of like doing it in November before everybody else. Plus, you know, mine was different than everybody else's because I made it myself. But let me know, did you like it in November or not? Okay, so let me put these away and then we can move on to July. Before I show you July, I do want to say there were 2 months that the winners only won by 1 vote. And one of those was April, which we already did, which was between the Georgia Jolly Bar from Brenda Riddle and the Sugar Creek from Corey Yoder, which Sugar Creek won for April. And the other one was in November. We'll have to wait until we get to November and I'll show you which one won. But only 1 vote separated the winner. Okay, so for July, we had Star Spangled from April Rosenthal, and the pattern was Blueberry Muffins. And then the number 14 was Scarlet and Sage by Fig Tree, and the pattern was Somersaults. So who won? It was Star Spangled, which is the Blueberry Muffins quilt. So this one, and these are going to be, let's see, a navy and a white are the fabrics that go with that to make this quilt. White and navy. All right, so that's what I'm doing in July. And I did have somebody tell me that I was going to run out of background fabric with all these. You're right, but that's why I bought more at Black Friday. All right, now August. Now August, we had day 15, which was flour sacks from me and my sister designs. And this is the Whoopsie Daisy quilt. And then day 16, we had Beyond Bella. It's got little stars on it. Now that print is all the same throughout. It's just a rainbow of colors. And the pattern was the star, all the colors. Which one won? This one. So the Whoopsie Daisy quilt won. And we will just be using Kona White for the background. And then turquoise for the border. Now I just realized I made a little bit of a mistake. Back here in June, this was the winner, the Seashore Drive, but I told you the wrong border print. So I'm still using the bone, wherever the bone went. The bone is right here. Yeah, bone. And then the binding. here's with the binding, Sherry and Chelsea. I think I pulled the turquoise. That's not right. So here's what I had for my options for the binding. Now I liked the darker gray, but that coral wasn't really in it. So this is what's going to be the binding, because it's Sherry. It's still Sherry and Chelsea. It's just from a different line. I'm sorry about that. I got myself confused. Got a little excited. I was looking at that when I pulled the turquoise for the me and my sister, and I'm like, that's not right, because didn't I pull it for the other one? So yes, that was August. Okay. Sorry, I've got a lot of fabric going on up here. Okay, September. Let me pull those out. September. We had Pepper and Flax Jolly Bar from Corey Yoder. And this was the pattern. The crossover quilt pattern. And 18, we had Dwell with the Painted Ladies quilt. Which one won? It is Dwell. So for September, I'm going to be doing the Dwell Jolly Bar. So let's see what I need here. So we have this, and then I'm going to use Kona White to go with it, and Kona Red I'm going to use for these accents. So all these little blues in here that looks like bows, it's actually going to be red because there's red in there. So that's going to be a little bit different. Let me get my red out. So that's what I'm going to do for September. Okay. Now we're on to October. Pulling it out. So October, we had Antoinette from French General with this quilt pattern. And then we had Rosemary's Cottage with, I think that's Camille Ross Kelly, or this Garden Path. So which one won? Antoinette. Now, I had said when I do this quilt, I like that darker gray behind it. I didn't have a darker gray, or at least enough of a darker gray, so I had pulled out this medium gray I was going to use. However, I did buy some darker gray with Black Friday sales. I haven't got it yet, so when it comes, if it looks okay, I'll use that darker gray, and then I'll use this as my binding. Okay, so that is October. Now we're going to December, or not December, November. Now November was another close race, or no, not November. I was wrong. April was the only one that was close, that won by one vote. Okay, November. We had day 21, which was Kitty Christmas, and Holly Jolly. Now these are both from Urban Chicks. And which one won? I bet you all can guess which one. Well, here's the patterns too. This was Snowflake Twist, and this was Sugar Plum Dreams. Kitty Christmas won. So we've got these fabrics that will go along with it in the pattern, and we're going to use some Kona Bone and red. So there's all the fabrics. Okay, now We're to December, which is the very last one. Let me pull it out. Day 23 was Starberry from Corey Yoder. This was the quilt pattern. Holiday Memories quilt. And then we had Berry and Pine by Lulla Batik for day 24. And the pattern was Star Delight. Which one won? Berries and Pine from Lulla Batik. So I'll be doing this in December, and I'm going to be using Kona Snow and, oh my goodness, Kona Basil. It just came off the bowl. I'll have to fix that in a second. So that's what I'll be using to make that quilt. Okay, so that was the winning projects from my 2025 Advent calendar. Once again, I had so much fun doing this, letting you guys pick, because it didn't matter which one wins to me. I liked them all. So I let you guys decide for me which ones I wanted. Again, your comments, I love seeing your comments. Some of you took your job very seriously to make those decisions. I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below, like I said, whether you have any suggestions for next year's Advent, which I could do. And also, if you want to see videos of me making them, or if you just want me to show them in my weekly updates that I do on Sundays. Okay, once again, thank you. Bye. Till next time.